cargo, Mr. Fraser. Can you ship it up the Missouri River to Canyon Creek for me?
I don't know, Mr. Muldoon. We got a pretty full load already. I'm not sure Captain Holden will want to take on anymore. Just flour in those barrels and nothing else?
That's right. We traded to the Indians for furs. You're a cautious man, Mr. Fraser. What did you expect to find? Contraband?
We've never made the trip up the Missouri before. We understand the government inspectors are pretty strict about cargo.
Yes, I know. We've made many shipments up in Missouri. Well, is it a deal?
Well, I guess I can get the captain to go along with it. You got yourself a deal, Muldoon.
Thank you very much, Mr. Fraser.
You're real lucky. He broke open just the barrel you wanted him to.
I make my own luck, Mr. Hennessy.
Worried, Connie. What's the trouble?
You're gonna call for steam, and you ain't gonna get it with this wood, Mr. Fraser. It's green. Here, look. Green and wet. It'll never burn.
We need a tow head of steam where we're going. Is this the best you could do?
There's a lot of boats in port. Shortage of fuel.
Is Captain Holden back yet?
Not so's I've noticed.
Everything else in order?
Take a look for yourself, Mr. Fraser.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Jensen. Give my regards to your wife. Hope she feels better. See you next trip. Hold it. What'd they do, drown this wood? Fraser! Are you gentlemen forgetting that we need dry wood to get up ahead of steam? Missouri's a lot trickier than the Mississippi. It's full of snags and sandbars.
We've been all through it, Gray. It's the best we could get.
Well, then let's take on a load of lard or pitch.
Lard's your best bet, Captain.
No, lard's going to cost us too much money. And we got no choice. These sticks aren't going to give us the steam we'll need. All right, lard it is, Carney.
Right you are, Captain. I'll scrounge the lard.
You know, maybe it was a mistake for us to start making a regular run up the Missouri. I mean, it seemed like a good idea at the time to build up business, but now I don't know.
I can't say you look like the happiest captain in the world. What's up?
What's up? Nothing's up. That's the trouble. Nothing. Old town's book solid. Every crate, every barrel, everything's gone. Book solid.
It's that rough, huh?
Yeah, it's that rough.
Well, in that case, you won't mind if I went ahead and made a little deal on my own.
A deal? For what? With who?
Well, I just couldn't pass up 300 barrels of flour for Canyon Creek. Canyon Creek? Haven't you noticed how low we're sitting in the water?
300 barrels?
And 2 tickets, first class. 2 passengers by the name of Muldoon and Casey are on board right now, loading cargo.
300 barrels? Right.
Hey, take it easy there.
Jefferson Carruthers and wife.
Welcome aboard, Mr. Carruthers.
Mrs. Carruthers.
I'm Captain Holden.
How soon do we pull out, Captain?
Just as soon as the government inspector finishes checking the cargo.
Oh?
Andy! Most of what we carry is intended for trade with the Indian. We have to be inspected for contraband. Andy?
Oh, I see.
Take Mr. and Mrs. Carruthers' baggage to the Massachusetts cabin.
Hope you enjoy your trip, ma'am.
Now, that's what I'd call quite a woman.
Yes, indeed. Wonder why they headed for Canyon Creek. That's just a mud hole, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can take off any time now, Holden. I've given you a clean bill of health.
Mr. Chambers, this is our first trip up the Missouri. How many times are we going to be inspected?
Just once, Buffalo Bend. Our man Sam Overton checks you out there.
Sam Overton. What became of Jim Haskins?
He was caught taking a bribe. We had to replace him.
That must be quite a problem, finding an honest inspector.
Quite a problem.
Hotel Ben, we're ready. See you next trip, Mr. Chambers. All right, hold that plank.
Oh, Mr. Chambers. I forgot to mail this. Would you do it for me?
All right.
Thank you.
Everything in order?
Yes.
Best get the visitors ashore.
All right, sir.
All visitors ashore now, please. All visitors ashore.
Come on out, folks. Better hurry up. Stand by, forward lines.
Stand by forward lines.
Stand by, aft lines.
Stand by up.
Miss Travis.
Aye, sir. Everything's ready.
Stand by to start your engines, Carney.
Aye, aye.
Cast off. Forward lines.
Off. Forward.
Aft lines.
Left line.
She's all yours, Ben.
Half speed ahead, Connie!
Aren't you going to change your clothes for dinner?
We're not in Washington, D.C. anymore, Abby. We're on a riverboat headed for the middle of nowhere. Why should I change?
No, it's a matter of simple good manners.
I'm not from New England like you, Abby. Good manners aren't that important to me.
I really think they are to me, Jeff. We need something to hang on to. We have very little else left.
You're an amazing woman, Abby. No matter what we go through together, no matter how much we hurt or ignore each other, you never lose your looks or your breeding. You're as beautiful now as the day I married you.
Mr. Holden has invited us to have dinner at his table tonight. Don't be late. It wouldn't be polite.
Don't worry, Abby. Be politely on time for dinner.
I'd hate to tell you how big a bribe I had to offer Mr. Holden for the chance of sitting at the same table with you and your husband, ma'am.
Oh? And did you take it?
Oh, I'm a businessman, Mrs. Carruthers. I want all of Mr. Muldoon's business that I can get.
And just why did you want to sit at our table, Mr. Muldoon?
Well, I understand we have the same destination. I like to get acquainted with my neighbors. What brings you upriver?
We're going into exile, Mr. Muldoon, like Napoleon at Elba.
No such thing. We're headed for our future home. My husband's the new territorial representative at Canyon Creek.
Oh, government man. Well, then I am glad to know you. I do business there myself.
Oh, no, thank you.
Oh, you better take it, Mr. Carruthers. You won't be doing any drinking at Canyon Creek.
Why not?
The Indians, my dear, they're not allowed anything stronger than water, and I'm supposed to set them a good example.
Oh, personally, I don't think it's quite fair. They're human beings, just like us. It seems a shame they can't enjoy the same pleasures of life.
How long have you been in government service, Mr. Carruthers?
2 years.
I believe it's 3.
I'm sorry, my dear, I only count the first 2.
Well, my husband and I were stationed in Washington for 2 years, and we've had to travel around a good deal the past year.
Oh? Promotions?
When a man starts his career in Washington and ends it in Canyon Creek, what would you call it, Muldoon?
I'm afraid my husband underestimates himself, Mr. Muldoon. His superiors considered him one of the most promising young men in Washington.
I'm glad you put it in the past tense, Abby.
I think I'll go on deck for a breath of air. You coming, Jeff?
Well, not just now. I'll join you later.
It was a delightful dinner, Mr. Holden. I compliment you on your cuisine.
Thank you. I really should look to the rest of my passengers. You'll excuse me, gentlemen.
Yes, of course. You don't seem very happy about going to Canyon Creek, Mr. Cross.
Should I be?
The job is only as good as a man makes it.
'Cause that's what I used to think, too.
You talk as if your career were over.
Man needs ambition to succeed, Mr. Muldoon. Afraid I don't have mine anymore.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Ambition isn't the only road to success. There's another.
Oh?
Money. Enough money and you can buy all the success you want.
Money. Do you know what my job at Canyon Creek will pay?
Yes, I know. Hardly enough to support Mrs. Carruthers in the style to which I'm sure she's accustomed. And if she were my wife, I'd want to give her the best of everything.
What are you getting at, Muldoon?
I'm merely suggesting that life at an isolated outpost needn't be as bleak as you picture it. I've known government men who were quite wealthy by the time they were reassigned.
There's something you should know about me, Mr. Muldoon. I've made a lot of mistakes in my life, and my career's been going downhill for the past year. But I've never yet taken a dishonest dollar. I hope you realize you're trying to bribe a government official.
Oh, no. Forgive me, I had no such intention. I was merely pointing out that there are certain opportunities that do exist for a man in your position. Well, if you'll excuse me.
Evening, Captain.
Evening. Sounds real pretty.
Thank you.
Carruthers, what are you doing down here? You shouldn't be here.
Well, it's a woman's prerogative to satisfy her curiosity. Mr. Holden, I just wanted to see the rest of your boat.
Then see it tomorrow. This isn't the time.
I saw some rather interesting gentlemen while I was wandering around down there.
You shouldn't be down there, Mrs. Carruthers.
Why?
Those interesting gentlemen might misinterpret your curiosity. Or was it curiosity?
What do you mean?
You seem rather disturbed when you left the dinner table this evening. I rather got the impression that you were retreating from something.
Retreating? What from?
Well, perhaps you better tell me.
You're a very perceptive man, Mr. Holden, and quite right. Let's just say I was running away from bad manners. Where I come from, one does not discuss one's personal problems at the dinner table.
Really? You mean your father and mother ate all of their meals to the accompaniment of idle chit-chat?
I was raised by my mother's family, Mr. Holden.
Oh.
My father was killed in a duel when I was 3.
A matter of honor?
Hardly. He was killed by the husband of the woman with whom he'd run away. What do you think of a man like that, Mr. Holden? A man who desert his wife and child for another woman?
Well, I'd have to know the man and his wife and, of course, the other woman.
I could never forgive a man who did that to me.
Never? Never is a very long time, Mrs. Carruthers.
Good night, Mr. Holden.
Mrs. Carruthers.
Carney, cut your engines to half. Buffalo Bend ahead.
Right you are, Mr. Fraser. Just name your pleasure.
All right, cut your engines.
Was a fine trip, Mr. Holden.
Well,
Much better than the one from the old country.
well, I hope you have a good life here, Mr. Lundquist. There's plenty of room for it.
Thank you. Good luck to you.
Good luck, then. Bye, honey.
This all the cargo that's coming ashore at Buffalo Bend?
That's right.
All right. I'll check what's left in the boat soon as I'm through here.
Barney Chambers was right. That new inspector ain't letting a thing get by him.
We can't buy them all. We'll just have to make sure he doesn't come aboard. You know what to do.
Right.
Oh, good morning, Mrs. Crothers.
Good morning, Mr. Muldoon.
Going ashore?
Yes, I thought I would. Mr. Holden said we'd be here for several hours, so I thought I'd like to see the sights.
I'm afraid there aren't very many sights to see in Buffalo Bend. May I?
Thank you.
Why don't you watch where you're going, stupid?
What did you call me?
I called you stupid.
Fight on the dock. Oh, there's a woman overboard. I think it's your wife.
I'll take her home.
The government man. He's hurt real bad.
Get him into a hotel. Somebody call a doctor. You get the doctor.
Take out of those wet clothes.
Oh, I hate this godforsaken wilderness. Why did everything have to go wrong? Why did we have to get sent
I
here?
didn't want it to happen, Abby, any more than you did.
Well, then why did it happen? Why?
Man's a double harness animal, Abby. He doesn't always pull well alone. Here.
Oh, I can do it myself, thanks.
Abby, we had it so good for 2 years. There's no reason it can't be like that again.
Oh, I wish that were true, but you know it isn't.
Why? Have you really stopped loving me? Don't you feel anything when I touch you?
Yes, I feel. But I can't forget what you did. I wish I could, but I can't.
We're back to that again, my one fall from grace.
I loved you, Jeff. Why did you let it happen?
I didn't want it to happen, Abby, but you'd been away from me for almost 5 months.
Mother was ill. Someone had to look after her.
I was lonely. I missed you. I needed you. And I allowed myself a moment of weakness. Is that an unforgivable sin?
I don't know. I only know that I can't forget it. I've tried, but I can't. Don't you think it was hard on me, too, being away from you? You'll never know how lonely I was. But I didn't drown my loneliness in the arms of the first man who'd have me.
No, I'm sure you'd never do that. You're too strong. Abby, haven't you ever allowed yourself an occasional weakness, a tiny sin? How can you forgive them in others if you're incapable of them yourself?
Are you suggesting that I follow your example and be untrue to you?
If you were, Abby, I think I could find it in my heart to forgive you. I'm a weak man. I can understand weakness in others.
Then try to understand mine. I love you, Jeff, but my weakness is that I cannot forgive you.
Strong currents ahead, and they're getting worse.
Can't we make any headway at all?
We need more power. Take the wheel, Travis.
What's going on, Barney? We need more steam. We'll never make Prairie Hill at this point.
I know you got good rough water, Mr. Fraser. We're doing the best we can, Captain. You saw our wood.
Well, then lard it. That'll make it burn.
All right, lard it up! Lard it up!
Arnie's getting touchy again. You know, one of the reasons is we're sitting so low in the water. Are you sure that you only took on 300 barrels from Muldoon?
You check the invoice.
The heaviest flour I ever did see.
Well, what are you kicking about paying a freight, is it?
All right, Mr. Freight Agent, all right. That's it, that's it. Keep it in there. Keep that steam up. Dip it down. Get her in there. That's it.
Has Mrs. Carruthers recovered from her accident?
She's fine.
Good. Did you get a report on that cargo inspector before we left Buffalo Bend?
He's pretty badly hurt. He'll be laid up for several months.
Too bad.
Well, rather convenient, isn't it?
Convenient?
For a trader who might be shipping contraband. It wouldn't be found now, would it?
If a trader were shipping contraband, you're quite right, Carruthers. It would not be found.
Tell me, Muldoon, what happened to the man that I'm replacing?
He died.
How?
He wouldn't give the Indians what they wanted. They killed him.
And what did they want?
Many things, Carruthers. But then isn't that true of all of us? There must be some things that you want, too. If not for yourself, then for that beautiful wife of yours.
Tell me, do you trade other things to the Indians besides flour for furs?
Of course. Pork, wampum, tools, blankets, lots of things.
And what do they pay best for?
The things we all pay the best for. What they want the most and can't have.
There she is.
Stand by, Mr. Carney. Prairie Hill dead ahead.
Aye, sir. Half the steam. Oh, Captain. As I remember it, there's a boat supply store in Prairie Hill. You suppose you could get us some buckets of grease? We're running kind of low.
All right, Connie, I'll fix them up when I go into town. It's a good job, Ben. That last stretch is about the worst we'll hit this whole trip.
Well, I hope you're right. Let's let Prairie Hill know we're coming.
Anything else?
No, that's it. Yeah, I think this is the right amount, sir. I'd appreciate it you're getting that load of grease on board in a hurry. We'll be pulling out shortly.
You can count on it, Captain. And thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, look at there, Clink.
Yes, sir. Well, now, what have we got here?
Now, what's a filly like you doing in Prairie Hill?
She must be one of Miss Annie's girls. Come in on the steamer. You work for Miss Annie?
Will you please let me by?
Friendly attitude to take.
The lady asked you to let her by.
Lady? I don't see no lady. All I see is a real pretty female. It smells good. It feels good.
The lady asked you to let her go.
He wants to fight for the lady.
That was horrible.
Horrible.
Those disgusting men.
Oh, they're not so bad, Miss Carruthers. You have to remember, this is a lonely town. And a beautiful female is a rare sight to them. Why, in a sense, they were paying you a compliment.
Compliment?
Well, sure. A woman as beautiful as you are walking the streets alone is bound to interest any man.
Not if he's a gentleman.
especially if he's a gentleman.
Well, I really am very grateful to you, Mr. Holden. You constantly seem to be saving me from disaster.
Well, perhaps that's because you're constantly headed for disaster. Now, you should wear mud more often. It's very becoming.
I see that Mr. Holden takes his work very seriously.
What work?
Taking care of his passengers. It's really a shame, you know, that a woman like Mrs. Carruthers should be wasted on a desolate outpost like Canyon Creek.
Well, she may not be wasted after all. You pointed out there are certain opportunities in Canyon Creek.
The only opportunities there are here are the kind a man makes for himself.
Just what is it you want from me, Muldoon?
A chance to make you rich. So you can take your wife away from Canyon Creek and give her everything she wanted. Before somebody else does.
Did you enjoy your afternoon in town with Mr. Holden?
Mr. Holden was kind enough to come to my assistance when I was accosted by two bullies.
Mr. Holden seems to make a habit of rescuing damsels in distress.
Well, it was lucky for me that he was there, since you weren't.
Did you want me there, Abby? Abby, how do you feel about Canyon Creek, about my job there?
I try not to feel anything. Isn't it easier that way, Jeff?
What would you say if I told you it could be a good job, that it could make us both rich?
I'd say stop dreaming and come down to earth.
Would it make any difference between us, Abby? You were capable of deep feeling once. I think you still are.
Well, I don't want to be, Jeff, not for you.
For whom, then? Gray Holden?
That's insulting.
Is it? I think maybe you're falling in love with him.
Oh, don't be absurd.
Oh, I'm not suggesting that you'd ever let him touch you. You're much too perfect for that.
Maybe I'm not quite as perfect as you think.
I wish you weren't. Just once I'd like to see your halo slip a little.
I'm your wife, Jeff. Do you think I could ever forget that?
I don't need a wife, Abby. I need a woman who really loves me, and you stopped being a woman a year ago.
You're wrong, Jeff. I just stopped being your woman.
Abby, I have an important decision to make about the way I'm going to do my job. I need your advice.
I'm even past giving advice, Jeff. I have too many questions of my own to answer.
Come in.
Tell me, Muldoon, is there a big profit in trading whiskey to the Indians for furs?
A very big profit, I've heard.
For everyone, including the government agent?
Especially the government agent.
Mrs. Carruthers.
It was such a lovely evening, I didn't feel like sleeping. Am I out of bounds up here?
Yes, but I'll make an exception in your case.
When do you think we'll get to Canyon Creek?
We should be there by tomorrow night.
I'll almost be sorry to see the trip end.
It may not be as bad as you think.
Oh, I don't mean that. It's just that I've met such interesting people.
So have I.
Tell me, Mr. Holden, why have you never married?
I doubt if I could find a woman who'd want to share this kind of a life with me.
Oh, I think you're wrong. Lots of women would.
Now, what makes you so sure of it?
Well, it's an exciting life, full of adventure.
Is that what a woman marries for? Excitement, adventure? No, Mrs. Carruthers. I'd want a better reason than that from the woman that I marry.
And what reason would you want?
The same reason any man wants. That I'm the one man in the world for her.
And if you found such a woman, would you always be true to her?
Well, now, I don't know. If she had a rival as exciting as you are, Mrs. Carruthers, I might find it very difficult.
And if you were untrue to her, would you expect her to forgive you?
It's an odd question.
Would you?
Yes. Yes, I guess I would. If she loved me.
She might have her pride.
Pride? Pride is a mighty poor substitute for love, Mrs. Carruthers. I'd say that any woman who puts pride above love isn't very much of a woman.
Would you say that I was much of a woman, Mr. Holden?
I don't know. I haven't had the opportunity to find out. Yes, I'd say that you're very much of a woman. It's Canyon Creek, straight ahead. Boy, I'm glad this trip's over. Yeah, so am I. Well, I guess I'd best get down below and prepare for checking out the passengers in the cargo. Mr. Connie, stand by for Canyon Creek.
Canyon Creek. Aye, aye, sir. Stand by.
What's that? Put it over here.
Well, Mr. and Mrs. Red. Mr. Carruthers, good luck on your new assignment, sir. Thank you. You're the new head man here. You want to inspect our cargo? I already have. You can unload it.
I'll deliver it to the government warehouse as soon as we get it on the dock, Jeff.
Mr. Carruthers.
Mr. Holden?
Well, how do you like it, Abby?
We'll make out.
Better than you think. We're going to get rich here.
Oh, Jeff, stop it. I can stand almost anything but pipe dreams.
This isn't a pipe dream, Abby. It's the truth.
Even if it were, what good would money do us?
You're my wife, Abby. I have to give you something. You won't take love, so money's the next best thing.
You really think that could make me feel anything for you, Jeff?
I've given up trying to make you feel, Abby. You have to be a woman to feel. And all you are is a lady.
You talk as if I were living in a vacuum. I'm just as human as you are. I need love just as much as you do, Jeff, and I can find it if I have to. You don't think I have any feelings? Well, that's not what Gray Holden thinks.
What does Gray Holden think?
He thinks I'm very much of a woman. And when I kissed him the other night, I felt like a woman.
I don't believe it. Abigail, the pure, the perfect, the unforgiving. You actually kissed a man, Abby? You fell from grace? Well, there may be hope for you yet.
What's the matter with you, Jeff? I've just told you I've been untrue to you. Don't you want to kill me or him?
There. That's for being untrue to me, even for a moment. Now I can forgive you. I don't have to carry a grudge for a year. Isn't it better that way? Come in.
Mr. Carruthers?
Yes?
I'm Napashu, the son of the chief of our tribe. And this is my wife, Mankata. We have lit a lamp for you, and have come to welcome you, and work with you if you need us.
Thank you. My wife, Mrs. Carruthers.
We have many furs to trade for the cargo the boat brings. But we will not trade till you got here.
Why not?
Because we do not wish to be cheated. Only you can protect us from those who sell us the whiskey.
Why would anyone want to give you whiskey?
Because it fogs our brains. And when our brains are fogged, we trade our fur for almost nothing. We give them away. There are men who know this.
If your people truly want no contraband, why did they kill the last government inspector for refusing to sell it to them?
Is that what you heard, Mr. Carruthers? We did not kill him. He was killed by the traders because he would not work with them. He was a brave man. We honor his memory. I go now to help work at the dock. We are glad you have come, Mr. Carruthers. We have much need for you.
Jeff, what's the matter?
Leave me alone. I have things to do.
Muldoon! Lots more helpers for you.
Good, Mr. Muldoon. I did not know this was your cargo.
Well, now you do. So let's get it to the warehouse.
What's going on here?
Mr. Muldoon brought us cargo once before. Blankets. Only they were not blankets. There was much trouble among our people.
Are you going to give us a hand or aren't you?
Hey!
We need flour, Mr. Muldoon, not whiskey. If you want our furs, buy them with flour, not with this.
I contracted for a cargo of flour, not whiskey.
Do you think anyone will believe you didn't know what you were carrying? You're in this as deep as I am, Holden. Now get those barrels to the warehouse.
You're not taking any contraband off this dock.
I've got almost twice as many men here as you have. How do you aim to stop me?
With guns, Muldoon. Now get off the dock.
What are you going to do with my cargo?
Impound it till I get further instructions from Carruthers.
That's a good idea. You do just that.
Keep right here, Ben.
Well, I thought we said goodbye to you at the boat. Holden, what is it? Did you want to see my wife again?
No, I want to see you. Muldoon is shipping contraband. He's hidden a keg of whiskey in every barrel of flour.
Well, what do you expect me to do about it?
Well, you're the government man. You know what to do.
Jeff, you heard what those Indians said. They don't want contraband.
Keep out of this, Abby. I can't confiscate a man's cargo just because Holden thinks he's seen a keg of whiskey.
Thanks. You come on down to the dock with me and see for yourself.
You run your business, Holden, and I'll run mine. That cargo stays ashore.
You knew about the cargo all along, didn't you? You made a deal with Muldoon, didn't you?
I'm officially ordering you to keep your hands off that cargo.
How much did he pay you? 30 pieces of silver?
Jeff, why are you doing this?
Don't you know?
No, I don't.
For you.
You sold yourself to Muldoon because of me.
Well, what choice did I have? Do you want to stay in this godforsaken hole for the rest of our lives? Do you want all the years ahead to be like the last one?
Are you blaming me for your weakness?
No, for your weakness, for your pride, your coldness, your inability to forgive.
Just what do you think you'll solve by taking bribes from Muldoon?
Our future, Abby. We have a marriage of convenience, not love. And convenience is expensive. So are pride and respectability. But don't worry, I'll buy them all for you.
Well, you won't have to, not anymore.
Where are you going?
Back to the boat.
You mean back to Gray Holden, don't you?
Yes.
Well, Holden, what instructions did Mr. Carruthers give you?
He ordered me to keep my hands off your cargo.
You don't say. All right, boys, take it away.
Hold it! That cargo goes back on my boat.
You've got no right to ignore the orders of a government agent.
I also have no right to deliver whiskey. I'm taking it back downriver.
Do you really think I'll let you?
You have no choice. Now get off this dock.
Got guns and ammunition at the warehouse. Come on.
I don't like this, Gray. They got us outnumbered 2-1.
Yeah.
Joe, Charlie, get up on the Texas deck. Keep us covered. Rest of you men, load these barrels back in the boat.
Mr. Holden! Mr. Holden!
What are you doing here?
I'm going back downriver with you.
You're going back? Why?
You know why. You saw the kind of man he is.
Yeah, I saw. A weak and beaten man who just sold his soul to the devil because he'd married a vain and selfish woman.
How dare you?
You're leaving him now because of what he just did, but yet you made him do it. Whatever it was he did a long time ago, he does not deserve this kind of punishment. Go back to him, Mrs. Carruthers, before you destroy him completely.
That hurt.
Good.
I'm sorry, Gray. It's just that I'm afraid. There's nothing left of my marriage. I know I made it fall apart a long time ago.
Well, then put it back together again, Abby. There'll be plenty of time up here. Go back to him.
That was just a warning, Holden. You've got exactly 1 minute to get off that dock and let me have my cargo. If you don't, I'll take it any way I can.
Go ahead.
Topside, Ben.
Keep spread out. I want them covered from every deck. Go through.
Back so soon, Abby?
Jeff, they're fighting down at the dock. Gray won't release Muldoon's cargo.
You don't say. And just which side are we rooting for?
Jeff, it's got to be stopped. You can stop it. Jeff, it's getting worse.
Courtesy of Muldoon.
Jeff, that is not the answer.
Well, what is the answer, Abby?
You've got to go down there and stop it.
Why, is the man you love in danger?
Yes, he is.
Then tell Holden to save his own skin.
I'm not talking about his, I'm talking about yours.
Mine? Why should I risk my life? Give me one good reason.
That's the first time you've kissed me. Is it for me or for him?
For you.
You wait here.
We gotta get out of here. We're setting ducks here.
Now without the cargo.
Well, he's gonna get it anyway.
One way we can stop him. Let's fix this so there's no cargo left. Come on. Grab one. How good are you at swimming with a bucket on your shoulder?
Depends how far.
Just as far as the dock. Dig in. Now, Travis. Ben and I hit the water. Get away from the dock fast. All right, now, let's go.
All right, boys, hold your fire. Get to your post work. Pull it up.
Give it everything you got, Connie. We gotta get out.
out of here fast.
All right, you monkeys! Fire it up! Hold your fire! Ah, yeah. Get out of here. Take your sidelines, fellas!
All right, you monkeys, shut up. Where's that pressure?
Just a minute, Mr. Travis, in just a minute!
We've got them beat. Come on, let's take it.
That cargo stays on the dock, Muldoon. I'm confiscating it.
All by yourself, Carruthers?
You'll do what I say, Muldoon. I'm the law here.
Not for long.
Jeff!
I'll kill you for that, Carruthers.
Honey, pour it to her.
Get away from there before that whiskey explodes.
All right, break her down, Carney. Give him a chance to catch up.
Hey, look at her burn, Ben. Hey, I got a suggestion to make.
Yeah, what's that?
From now on, you stick to piloting. I'll make all the deals.
Well, Muldoon didn't look crooked.
Haven't you got a sense of smell?
Suppose Carruthers and his wife can stick it out until we bring him another load of flour?
Yes, I do. I think they're going to be there a long time. Or at least as long as they want to be.
I guess you could take Canyon Creek if you had a woman like that for a wife.
Yeah. Yeah, you could even take Canyon Creek.